Hi, Analisa Six here with the Lady of Leisure and the Sober Curator to bring you the November 2024 horoscope for the zodiac sign of Capricorn for Sun and Rising placements. Hi, Capricorn. Welcome to Scorpio season. We are in Scorpio season for about 6 more days before we enter Sagittarius. I am super behind on getting these videos done, but better late than never. And I also think some of the value in watching a mid-month horoscope is you can reflect on the last couple weeks and see how you utilize that energy and whether or not any of this resonates for you. Starting out the month of November, we had a new moon on the 1st at 9 degrees of Scorpio. New moons are really positive times for setting intentions towards things that we want to call in or manifest into our lives. Now, where this new moon hits is where Scorpio hits in the horoscope chart. So, Scorpio in the horoscope chart for Capricorn is in the 11th house, which is the house that represents our connection to groups, friendship circles, organizations, political associations, networking, all of these kind of more out in the world social platforms, like kind of where we are in society is where the 11th house impacts us. And so the sun's been passing through this area since October, but then we had that new moon, we have Mercury here starting out the month. And so this has been a really positive time for you to set intentions around who you associate with, what your friendship relationships are like. And in Scorpio, Scorpio is the sign that rules death and rebirth. And so we also experience a lot of change and transmutation of energy. And it's also a really positive time to release and let go of things that are no longer serving us. So if you've been in a place where you're kind of like, these are the types of friendships or associations with people that I want to have, and these are the ones I don't want to have, this new moon was a really positive time for you to kind of set intentions around what you want to let go, as well as what you want to call in. The other thing that we had starting out the month is Venus in Sagittarius. And Venus will be in Sagittarius until the 13th of the month. So as I'm recording this, it's already moved into your sign of Capricorn. And where Venus was passing through was the 12th house, which is the house that rules your subconscious and your connection to your own spirituality, also hidden desires and secrets. Now, Venus is considered to be the lesser benefic of the zodiac. She brings good fortune and blessings wherever she is. And passing through the 12th house, this could be a really positive time for healing any kind of things from the past, healing issues from past life karma or issues from any kind of repressed memories or in the subconscious. It could also be a time where we really indulge hidden desires or things that we've been wanting to do. Maybe we're bringing that up to the surface and acknowledging that we want to experience more joy in these areas. It's also a really positive time for spiritual seeking and working in different modalities of spirituality that are supportive to your growth and evolution as a person. When Venus moves into Capricorn, she's entering your first house where she's going to be for the rest of November. Now, this area of the chart is the area that connects us to our identity and our sense of self. And Venus passing through the first house supports us in focusing on ourself, self-love, autonomy, individuality, doing things that fill our own cup and kind of, giving ourselves maybe more attention and energy than what we feel like we've been able to do in months prior, where maybe we've been pouring out into others more. So you're definitely supported in being more self-focused for the rest of November. We also start out November with Mars finishing up its stint in Cancer. Now, Cancer is the opposite sign of Capricorn. It makes, that opposition to you. And it's been, Mars has been passing through Cancer for the last couple of months and passing through the area of the chart that rules relationships, partnership dynamics specifically. So this can be your romantic relationship or ships. This can be a business partnership. This can also be best friends that you have. It's one-on-one relationships. And when Mars is passing through here, we could be experiencing some conflict and some turbulence with partner dynamics. Now, Mars moving into Leo, we're not totally out of the clear in terms of conflict and partner dynamics. The 8th house is where Mars will be entering and will be for the rest of November. Now, this house is the house that is connected to shared resources. So if we share any money or anything that we deem a resource with somebody else, we can experience some turbulence around that. It's also the house of financial institutions. It's also the house of marriage, sex, death, and rebirth. So whenever Mars is passing through an area, we do experience some hardship and some conflict. Now, Mars is going to be teetering back and forth between Leo and Cancer until June of 2025. So we have Mars in these two houses back and forth till June of 2025. I say that twice because it's a big deal. This doesn't happen frequently. Mars will be in your eighth house, though, for all of November. As the month progresses, on the 3rd, Mercury moves into Sagittarius, where it's going to be for the rest of the month. Mercury is going to be in Sagittarius until January because Mercury stations retrograde in Sagittarius at the end of November. The area of the chart that this hits for the Capricorn horoscope is the area that has to do with your subconscious and anything from the past that needs your attention. This is a really powerful time for spiritual evolution, spiritual seeking, and developing more spiritual practices that help empower you as an individual. When Mercury enters the shadow period, you're going to be in a reflect, review, reassess period around what you've previously believed about life in the past. This could also lead you to dark night of the soul moments, where you might be inclined to feel like you need to make some major changes in your life to align yourself more with values that you are developing. This can be a very like spiritual seeker kind of energy. If we backtrack a little bit before all of that happens, we're going to have a full moon at 24 degrees Taurus on November 15th. And during this full moon, we also have Saturn stationing direct in Pisces. Saturn has been retrograde since the end of June and will be stationing direct at 12 degrees on that 15th. So that's in your 3rd house of communication. So if there's been communication dynamics that you've kind of been working through, hopefully you start feeling some release around that tension come the 15th. The full moon is hitting in the area of the chart that has to do with your creativity and artistic expression, as well as how you relate to your community. And so this, again, full moon's great time for manifesting, great time for releasing and letting go. If you've had goals on how you want to express yourself creatively and how you want to be impactful in your community, this was a positive time for you to set intentions around how you want to cultivate that or manifest that in your life. After that, we're going to have the sun moving into Sagittarius on the 21st. Now, this is going to be coinciding with Pluto entering Aquarius and also our Mercury placement entering its shadow period before the retrograde. Now, again, this is going to highlight your 12th house, and this is going to be a really positive time for reflecting and reviewing on values and belief systems and your spirituality. After that, we're going to have Mercury stationing retrograde in this house on the 25th. And then on the 30th, we're going to have a new moon at 9 degrees of Sagittarius. So the last half of the month is really positive for you to focus on your spiritual relationship to self and whether or not you feel like you're living in alignment with who you're meant to be. When we go through these transits, we might have a lot of reflection, especially with Venus passing through your 1st house, on whether or not we're really living the life that we want and what our actions are leading us towards. And Capricorn, being a very disciplined and practical energy, really wants to take a disciplined, practical approach to life. But sometimes the things that make the most sense on paper aren't actually what's calling our soul. And sometimes we just need to go do something because it feeds us, not because it's necessarily the most practical, logical decision. So you're going to be kind of maybe reflecting on some of those themes. What makes you happy? What spiritually fulfills you? What are your values and beliefs? Are you living in alignment with them? And how can you be a Capricorn that wants to have a practical approach to things, but also allow yourself to have some freedom to explore things that maybe don't always make sense? All right, I'm going to leave you there because I've got 2 more videos to do and I've got to get on with my day. If you liked this video, please hit the like and subscribe button to be notified on when I post these. I'll have my information in the description box on where you can find me, and I will see you guys all next month.